We're going to build a dividend portfolio made up of 10 different stocks that will pay you on average £100 every single month. At the end, we'll see exactly how much this portfolio would cost you and how many shares of each company you would need. I should just quickly say that all the figures used are based on 2022 dividend payments and the share price will be at time of filming. The first company you'll want in your portfolio is British Land. They will pay you £79.46 in January. And to round this off to get in around £100 in January, the next one you'll want is National Grid. They'll pay you £24.09, which means the total amount in January that you'll get from this portfolio is a dividend payment of £103.55. Moving on to February, the first company that you're going to want in this portfolio is Vodafone. They're going to pay you £74.79. And to round it off to 100, the next one you're going to want is BT. They're going to pay you £11.55, which if you can do quick maths in your head, you'll know that that doesn't add up to quite 100. It sits at about £86.34. So we're going to do on average £100 across these months. So you'll see that some months are slightly higher, some months are slightly lower, but we'll look at the average at the end. Moving nicely into March, you'll just need one company that are going to pay you in March, and that is IMB, Imperial Brands. And they're going to pay you a one payment of £98.64. So you're getting pretty close to 100 just by having this one company. And remember, we'll look at how many shares of each company you'll need at the end. Moving into April, you've got two very big names here. You have got Diageo. They're going to pay you £58.72. And you're going to need a second company, which is Rio Tinto. And they're going to pay you a dividend payment of £35.23, which means in April, your total dividend payment will be £93.95. Moving into May, just one payment here from a company called Taylor Wimpey. They're going to pay you £97.68. Into June, you're going to need two payments, one coming from a company we've already seen and a second payment coming from a new company on the list today. So the first one is coming from the new company, Legal & General, who are going to pay you £53.08. And you're going to get a second payment from a company that also paid you back in March, which is Imperial Brands. And they're going to pay you £42.54. So in total in June, you're going to get a payment of £95.62. Moving into July, we're going to have another company that we've already seen and another new company. So you're going to have a payment from British Land, which is going to come in at more than they paid you in January, which is £89.32. And the other company in July is Airtel Africa, ticker symbol AAF, if you haven't heard of this one. And this is going to pay you £11.02. So in July, you're pretty much going to hit it bang on and get a payout of £100.34. Moving into August, we're going to have to go slightly over £100 on this one just to make up for some of the shortcomings in the other months. The first payment is going to come from Vodafone. We saw this one back in February and they're going to pay you pretty much the same amount. They're going to pay you £75.32. The rest is going to come from National Grid, who are going to pay you £47.26. So this comes to a total dividend payment in August of £122.58. September is going to be the month where you get the most dividend payments in this portfolio. September does tend to be quite a good month for dividend payments, and this one is no different. So the first payment in September is going to come from Rio Tinto. They are going to pay you £22.16. Next, you're going to get a payment from Imperial Brands, £42.54. Legal & General are then going to come in with a dividend payment themselves of £21.76. And to round this all off and get us to about £100, you're going to have BT, who are going to pay you their second payment of £26.95. This is going to go slightly over and you're going to be left with a dividend payment total of £113.41. Moving into October, we're just going to have one payment and it's going to come from Diageo and they're going to pay you £93.64. We saw Diageo pay back in April, but as October is their final payment, it is a lot bigger and it gets us close to that £100 just with the one company. Moving to November, again, just one company, the same one company that paid us in May, which is Taylor Wimpey. And they're going to pay us again pretty much spot on £101.64. To round it all off in December, we're going to have two payments. We're going to have one from Airtel Africa at £8.49 and the second one from Imperial Brands at £98.62, which is going to total £107.11. So the total amount of dividends that you're going to get from this portfolio across the entire 12 months is going to be £1,214.50, which if you divide that number by 12, you're going to get an average monthly payment of £101.21. So pretty much £100 every single month from this portfolio. So let's talk about how many shares of each of these 10 companies you would need, and then we'll talk about how much that portfolio would actually cost you. For British Land, you would need 770 shares. For National Grid, you would need 140 shares. Vodafone, you'd need to purchase 1,990 shares. For BT, you'd need a fewer amount of shares, but that doesn't mean it's cheaper. You would need 500 shares. Imperial Brands, 200. Diageo, 200 again. Rio Tinto, you would need just 10 shares. Taylor Wimpey, 2,200. Legal & General would be 400 shares. And lastly, Airtel Africa, you would need 450 shares. You're probably wondering how much this portfolio would actually cost you to build. Well, at time of filming, it would cost you £23,413.28. But remember, I have not purposely looked for only high dividend yielding companies, nor have I sought out only cheap companies. So I'm sure you could build this portfolio that would pay you £100 each month for a lot cheaper than I have. But do be careful of only looking for high dividend yielding companies. That was a really fun video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.